back, y'all. Welcome to another Pod Day episode. You already know it's more than the title, episode 232. I'm your host, as usual, Jared, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital. And of course, I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chatty. Yo, what's good, baby?
We're in the building, man. You know, second favorite day of the week, Pod Day. And ladies and gentlemen, if you was tuned in on Tuesday, movie.
Yeah, it was a lot of
movie. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, so this today ain't gonna be no different. You understand what I'm saying? So you know how we like to get the show started. It's a lot of testosterone in the building. So of course we got to have a special person in the building to balance everything out. So with my sister right here, look, I got it right. I got the mirror image, yeah, and the Hollywood Square in that angle. Nadesh, aka we call her the Balance. What up, Balance?
Good. Back. Missed y'all.
Miss you too. Glad you feeling better.
Feeling much better. Glad to be here. Glad to be a part of today. I think we're gonna have a good combo.
Oh, we're gonna have a great combo, you know, because we're gonna start up the combo with phenomenal.
You know that.
You know how we like to start the show, ladies and gentlemen. We got another phenomenal guest, but here's the thing: this guest has already been on the show before, and this is why we're gonna dedicate a G&T to guests like this one, right? He's already been on the show. He had a great episode. He has some news that he wants to break. On this episode, he asked, could he come back on the show? And we said, abso-fucking-lutely, right? This is your platform. We're a part of your village. And we are honored for guests like him that continue to not only come on the show, but make us a part of their village and return to the show and break new news and show people that we can celebrate the culture with the culture. So with that being said, Cuzzo, you on mute, Cuzzo.
Oh, no.
Listen, I just want to add something else, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, for sure.
People like you, bro, like I just want to say I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Because we all about building relationships. So when the camera's off, we actually link up. When bro was in the town, he calls and like, yo, I'm in the town. I'm like, yo, meet me at BBQs. You never been there? Yo, come on, let's get some drinks. Let's chill out. Let's vibe. Where you want to go? What you want to see? All that good stuff. So that's what it's about. It's about building relationships, man. The announcements, the success is good, man, but it's about building family, real community. You know what I'm saying? So just want to say, you know, we honor, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to be able to break bread together. You heard?
That's it. It ain't about just, you know what I mean? Some of them just press the camera. I know you saw that joint. We're going to talk about it later. The joint walked out.
Yeah.
I saw another joint. I saw our brother Malik Yoba was on a joint and walked out.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
I
wasn't going to comment on it at this way.
No, that's our brother. I'm going to keep it a beans. That's why you can't just work with anybody. I just want to say that. What we do, we take it's integrity what we do. A lot of integrity, our character. We ain't doing nothing for clicks and, you know, clout chasing, none of that shit. We celebrating our own here. We're not going to bring you up here and have you looking crazy. We'll never do that.
Facts.
No, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all having me. First of all, like you said, definitely family. I was in New York and kicked it with Jared. What was it? It's Dallas BBQ, right?
BBQ.
Yeah, man. So no, I love it, bro. And the connection. And then, like I said, on last time I was here, bro, you don't really get that type of genuine connection, especially at events that we met at, right? Like I think Black Week is dope. We met at Black Week. Black Week is dope, but it's that it was more of like a family connection versus like, oh, this is business. Obviously, it's business as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? We pushing each other on both platforms. But it starts with like family. And that's I'm huge on family, bro. So I appreciate y'all.
Message. You can't fake that.
That's a fact.
See, that's the shit. That's the what y'all other podcasters don't understand is anybody can ask a question. Anybody can answer a question. Anybody can get a guest on the show. But when you connect with somebody and they feel that genuineness and they feel that real energy, that you can't buy. That you can't fake. So, you know, just letting you know if you want that sauce, that special sauce.
I don't.
I don't like this tone, Chris. I hate it. I looked at you and I knew you were gonna do it. That's why I paused. That's why
I even gotta say that.
But that's why I looked at you like he's gonna get me for that.
Even that one, I could have got you for that one.
He paused after it too. He knew what was up.
Yo, Chris, listen, if we do it to the guys, you got to know when it's gonna get done to you. You know what I'm saying? All right, listen, YouTube love it.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Welcome to More Than the Title. We're going to give our brother the intro. So he's been on about 4 or 5 months ago, had a dope-ass interview, man, told us about his story. But just for those who didn't tune in the first time, this is More Than the Title. We're sitting down with people like this brother who don't just talk culture. This brother's actually building it. He's the co-founder of CMO of Cxmmunity Media, the 4.5M media and tech company rewriting the rules for Black underrepresented youth in gaming, entertainment, and content creation. He's one of the ones that have a path to success beyond sports and music, creating ownership opportunities through gaming, anime, storytelling, from launching the HBCU Esports League with over 14 million live views in its first season, to bringing $2 million in scholarships directly to students, to connecting blockbuster films like Creed 3 and Space Jam. Man, this brother is showing what's possible when you actually live your purpose, man. Y'all seen him at the conferences.
Boom.
See him. Y'all see him you definitely see him at the events. Yeah. You know what I mean? You see him in the boardroom because my boy's making them deals happen. For sure. He's on your very favorite podcast for the second time. Let's get bro, man, Chris Peay.
Yeah. Chris, I ain't gonna lie, before we get started, I'm ready to enroll in school just to get down with one of these esports teams because I'm nasty with the mouse and the
Nah, seriously, bro. I was just I told you I was in New York yesterday. I did this shoot for the Telly Awards, and one of the questions was like, when did you know that you made it? Or like what award or recognition was, you know, just let you know that you made it. And I'm like, it wasn't an award. It was this moment, this dude, one of the kids' moms called, and she wanted to make sure that like the check was legit. Like, hey, she wanted to make sure that her kid's not getting scammed because she had never seen him. It was more than $50,000, but playing the video game, and it's like, again, as an HBCU student, that's probably that $50K could probably pay for all 4 years, depending on what school you go to. It's low key a full ride. And so it was that moment, bro. It wasn't any awards. It was just like, oh wow, like this is like real impact, because that's something that my mom would do too, and just to be able to like give that to students, like shit, I still got student loans. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have $50,000. Message. in a check.
Even if you can't pay for it, Chris, here's the thing: even if it doesn't pay for everything, it will lighten the load tremendously.
100%.
Tremendously. You ain't got to worry about books. You ain't got to worry about this and that. And it might take care of only 3 years, and then you're only responsible for 1 year. That's a big difference. So any little bit helps. That's the bottom line, right? Any little bit that we can get from, you know, positive things and stuff like that, that helps the cause, man.
I'm pretty sure there was a listener that ears perked up when you said 50K. How you getting 50K, right? Like, I know, sis, like, how you
because I'm ready. I'm like, first of all, we haven't actually got to meet yet, so pleasure meeting you. And great, this is great. I'm excited to ask a lot of questions.
Please
because for a lot of our listeners, you know, some of them may not really know who you are. If you give a quick synopsis about like who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, for sure. So Chris Peay, co-founded Cxmmunity Media. So Cxmmunity Media is the largest Black-owned media platform that focuses on streamers, gaming culture, and just content creators in general. Our claim to fame, like we mentioned, is that we started the nation's first esports league called the HBCU Esports League. Well, Esports League for HBCUs, excuse me. So I went to an HBCU. I went to North Carolina Central University, and then my business partner went to Oakwood University. And so it started off with like, he's just like, yo, I bet Oakwood could beat NCCU in Call of Duty. And I'm like, yeah, I bet they can't. Like, and we both still knew students that were on campus. And so it's just a matter of like reaching out to them. 9 times out of 10, the students on campus are playing video games already, and they're playing for free, or they're playing, you know, little side bets in the dorm. And so it's like, you can start something that, you know, just reaching out to them and saying, hey, you want to play? And then one team got, you know, 4 people, the next team got 4. And then we just went live on Twitch. And so Twitch saw that, and we had a few other events before that kind of put us on Twitch's radar, but they saw it and they're like, yo, we want to partner. And so when we ended up partnering with Twitch, and they valued it at $5 million off of the idea alone. And this was kind of like, you know, the timing was also really important too, because that was around the same time that George Floyd was murdered. You know, Breonna Taylor was murdered in her apartment. And so there's a bunch of things happening in the world. And so it's just, you know, timing definitely played a part too. But yeah, we kind of just took a chance, took a bet on ourselves, built the HBCU Esports League, had 53 million live views in the 4 seasons, $2 million in scholarships, a bunch of different national brand deals. And that's the thing.
Say the number again and say it louder for everybody.
on. Come on, man.
They listening. They like, what?
Yeah. So that's the thing that kind of kicked us off, and got us started.
I got a biz question, bro. And then we kind of talked about this offhand. I want to talk to you. So when they come to you with the $5 million valuation for the business, what thoughts are running through your mind, and how are you trying to make sure that you get market value for the IP and the brand? Like, what things are you doing to make sure that it's a fair deal? Because that's a lot of shit that a lot of us coming from where we come from don't get. We hear 5 and we just take it. So is there anything, like, what lessons did you learn from that process?
Oh no, we just took it for sure. We definitely just took it. It wasn't a 360 deal, but I can see how artists get wrapped into a 360 deal, because when you don't have nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh hell yeah, I'll take it. But I mean, it was a great partnership. It got us in rooms that I never thought that we would get in, but we got there a lot faster. But yeah, I think when that happened, Jared, it was just like, oh, we actually got something. And so what we did was just went and like started partnering with, people that we knew. We had already built a ton of contacts just from going to conferences, esports conventions, those type of things. And so we knew who to call on to handle production. We knew we knew how to get the students. We kind of were the students. We always like to say, like, we are our target audience. And so we know exactly where to go from there. And then it's just like that whole ramp up period of, the IP and who owns it, and what happens in media and splits and all that stuff. Like, we're just learning on the fly, just learning as we go.
Yeah, let me add to that, Chris. For anybody listening, Chris's story again is very unique. We love the numbers, but let me add something to you, right? And this is why Cuzzo asked this question, right? When you get your company evaluated, one of the first things that a company requests you to do is what's called due diligence. Yeah, right? You have to provide fiscal financials and numbers to support the evaluation of what they're valuing your company at, right? That alone, depending on the agencies, because you need to hire an agency to do this type of thing, can cost you tens of thousands of dollars into the hundreds of thousands to make sure that you are not frauding the company that's trying to give you this kind of money. So knowing this, right, if you know that your companies might not, like, this is a startup, it might not be worth even $500,000, and a company's offering you $5 million without due diligence, or saying like, we understand where you are, like he said, just for the idea of it, we're gonna invest this kind of money. You check the numbers and check the the deal parameters, but you would be a fool to turn that down, knowing that your evaluation is nothing close to that in that moment. So that's a special deal that Chris got. But just be aware that if you have a business that's up and running already, and a company is looking to acquire your business, they're gonna due diligence is almost mandatory in every single dealing going forward, to make sure that they're not getting defrauded, and to make sure that you're getting the valuation that you say that you're worth. Right? It's
like an appraisal for your business, but I don't think
exactly what it is.
It's appraisal for your business, but I don't think it was acquisition. It wasn't acquisition, right?
No. So yeah, I wanted to say that too. So that kind of played a part into it too. So it's like they weren't. Yeah, it was mostly like, yo, we can partner and we can bring in $5 million worth of sponsorships, essentially.
There you go.
So like they own the platform, obviously. Right. So it's very easy to these are the numbers that we have. This is the audience that we have. Again, this is a time where there's just a lot of different DEI programs, which I'm pretty sure we'll talk about too, that like brands just wanted to, do a thing for Black people. And it's like, there's nobody else in gaming doing this thing. And so this makes sense. But yeah, so no, it was, like I said, the partnership, the marriage, it worked. There was just a lot of things that, we had to learn down the road, which I think, to your point though, Chadio, is like, yeah, if you don't have like we always say like luck is preparation meeting opportunity. I'll say we were very prepared. And we were looking to like eagerly create opportunities. And that was like one of the first ones that just took off. And so for us, it's like, I don't exactly know what this means in the long run, but right now it makes sense. And risk is always better than regret. So
message. A lot of sense. We on Twitch right now.
Twitch listeners.
Shout out to Pole on the whole squad.
Shout out to Twitch, man. We love Twitch.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. I think, based on the conversations, a lot of people have hit us up after the show, saying that, again, right, you came up, it's all timing, right? Timing. Had you been the second or third one to do that, you might not have gotten that deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to re-emphasize that, right? Ladies and gentlemen, right? If you have an idea and you feel like it's groundbreaking, even if it's not fully prepped out, even if it's not planned out or it's not perfect, sometimes you just got to start a thing. You got to start, because too many times we live with regret that we say, oh, I got an idea. We'll tell our friends, we'll tell our family, and do nothing with it. Then 2-3 years, somebody does. You're like, yo, did I think of that shit 3 years ago? But you didn't do nothing with it.
But slight tweak, cuzzo.
Talk to me.
You can start a thing. Start what you love. Start what you're passionate about. Okay. Because when the times get rough, if you don't love what you do, you're gonna quit and lose a whole lot of money and time and resources and all that shit. Like, bro started what he loved with his bro. I am the customer. He's telling you, like, I am the customer. I'm building what I always wanted.
Right, but caveat to that, business is creating a solution to a problem, or creating a service to a problem that is non-existent. So even though you might not love what you're doing, if you know that you can solve a problem and business-wise it's going to be profitable, then I still would say start, because that's what business is. There's a lot of people that started businesses that they might not have loved, but they were solving a problem, and then once it took off, so you could learn to love some shit.
I disagree. I don't know.
I definitely see both sides. I definitely that's why I'm here.
Would you start a business you're not passionate about for the bag?
Yeah.
I'm winning the Dodge on.
Yeah, I see both sides. See, my thing is, I would go get the bag and then use the bag to fund my passion.
Yeah,
or that. Yeah, see.
Yeah, because like the hardest part is starting first, and then once you get started, the next hardest part is like to keep going, bro. Because you start to wake up and it's like, man, I don't really care. Once you don't really care, then you don't do it, and then 2 days go by, you procrastinate, and 2 days turn into like a month.
Yeah,
it just becomes daunting. Yeah. But no, if it's a problem that you actually actively want to solve, then like you have no.
Shit. I got it, cuzzo.
Wow.
We got to use that. See, I'm gonna back my point up. You were doing podcasting. I didn't even know nothing about podcasting. When you came to me to say, let's start this business, I seen the vision. I didn't love podcasting. I knew nothing about podcasting, but I loved you, and I trusted you. See, and now I love this shit. Now we take it off.
I knew you love this shit.
I know what the fuck podcast. What the fuck is a podcast?
I just want to go back a little bit to right, because you mentioned like there are those moments where like you feel low, you feel tired, like I don't want to do it. What's something you do to get out of that, or like exist in it to get ready to move on, and then what do you do to move on to the next?
For me, I just learned this too. It's just disconnecting, man. You got to disconnect from these things. Social media is crazy right now. I don't know if have y'all ever caught yourself doom scrolling and then you start to like feel it in your forehead?
Yeah,
maybe it's just me.
Energy, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's draining. It's not you.
I don't do it no more.
You know why? Because I got a rule. Instagram and Facebook does this dumb shit. You ever look at something and go to click on something and the shit resets all the way back to the beginning? Like when it does that, I turn that shit off. Like say I was scrolling, I might scroll for like a minute or two, and if it resets, that's it. I'm not going back down there. I'm ignorant like that. Oh, you reset on me, you motherfucker. You think I'm scrolling back down 20? I'm not doing that. I'm not. Game over. That means enough is enough.
Yeah, his algorithm is a day off.
I'm finished.
Interview today.
I don't know how algorithm do that shit too.
Game said.
Yeah, I was watching this show. It's I forget the name of the show. I was on the plane, but the department that one of the guys worked in was habit forming, for an app, and so it's like it's actually forming habits, or it's tracking users' habits to create more moments, little nuanced things inside the app that basically keeps them on the app.
Right.
So to answer that question, I try and disconnect. Now I have like 2 days a week where I'll just delete social media. Today is one of those days. And so then I'll like ride my bike. I bought a bike. I'll go ride the bike, listen to music. I just bought a new camera too. So I'm like just trying to like create. I think that helps me get out of like the rut of everyday business. Because I mean, you still have to do all the admin work, and that's the thing that'll take you away as you're building. You're so busy. A lot of us get so busy like working on the business that you can't necessarily work in it, or working in the business, that you can't necessarily work on it.
Message. So yeah, I love that. I love that. I got a bike too, Chris. I've been riding for about 2 months now. Yeah. I ride to the gym, 2.26 miles to the gym, and then ride back. So you know what I mean? It's very good to get out there and just feel the breeze, and you know what I mean?
It's like a whole different world too, right? I was telling somebody this, like in the car, there's so many rules. Yeah. like you're in the lanes, you stopping at the light. You know what I'm saying? You stopping at the stop sign. But on the bike, you literally, it's like it's a whole different world. It's just a world that you don't get to see in the car, I guess.
Plus, it's great exercise, right? We have to exercise as much as we're exercising the brain and trying to be successful. We can't forget to exercise the body, the heart, right? Because what is money and success worth if you're not well, right?
Wow.
Putting more emphasis on health as wealth.
Yeah, 100%. What they say, you have a million problems until you have a health problem, and you only got one.
You only got one problem.
Yeah, like nothing else matters at that point.
That's
real,
bro.
In the hospital bed, like.
So you're talking about disconnecting too, bro. So and we also know you're a family man. You got baby boy, bro. So like, tell us how it's been juggling both, man. I know he's a youngin' man. So dealing with the everyday problems of the business and then dealing with the family, like, you know what I mean? How you balance that?
Yeah, I didn't realize early on how hard it is, bro. It's it's like I just posted some pictures. Somebody was laughing because like a lot of times if I'm home and he's home, and this is like in the evening, if I'm on a meeting, like he's on my back. It's just arms around my back, like climbing all day long. But it's dope though, because that is a huge opportunity where I do get to disconnect and like take him outside. And I don't feel like I click well with a lot of people. But now it's like, as a dad, you're forced to go. Like if we at the park, bro, I have to talk to these other kids' parents.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's like that's nerve-wracking for me. So it's like just making sure that, you know, I'm getting outside myself and doing new things and challenging myself. Or I have this thing now where like if I tell myself I don't want to do something, I just do it anyway. And that kind of helps wake up the neuro whatever. Just to tell me to, you know what I'm saying, keep going. Like don't get stuck in that rut of comfortability because it's easy.
Do you feel like you are one of them new parents where it's like everything your kids do, you like, wait, don't do that, wait, watch it, like, you know, super cautious, or are you like, you climb on that, you're gonna fall, like you let them fall. Okay, you gonna cry, I'm not picking you. You know, how is that experience for you? Because a lot of new parents, they like, you know, you get super scared and you kind of like super guarded of your child. Like, how you feel about that?
I feel like the only thing I'm guarded about is like other kids. Like I don't know what these kids' intentions are, but for like him, like nah, he jump off the couch, he jump off the slide, he falls in the wood chips, and I'm not running to get him. Like nah, you know, because he gonna look up and make sure that it's okay.
Right.
If you ain't tripping, he ain't gonna trip. He gonna get up, dust his little self off, and keep it going. So I appreciate that, especially with a boy. If it was a girl, I would be completely different. But yeah, no, I think with the kids though, I'm just like today, I was telling my lady, I dropped him off at daycare. I do the morning drop off, and these little kids, one little kid ran up and was like punching him, and so his friend, I turn around, put his little stuff up, turn around, him and his friend, bro, I swear to God, are laying on top of this kid. Like, and the teacher, the teacher split him off. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I don't want to get in the way, but it sounds like they know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
I ain't raising no punk.
Right. No, stuck a foot.
Had him in the yoke.
Like, dog.
You gotta be politically correct. You can't throw up the fist in daycare like, yeah, that's my boy.
Right.
You gotta
like you didn't see it. Yep.
Like I'll pick him right up. Good job. That's my good roll on the damn thing. You didn't break his neck. You made sure he breathed a little.
Yeah, so no, he's finding his way. So that's pretty cool to see, man. That's what I want. I don't want to get in the way.
Yeah,
that's fire. But I do want to say, I know since you're gonna ask the question, but I do want to say it's an underrated trait talking to the other kids' parents. Man. Some of them be bugged out. I'm
not gonna lie, I do commend my mom because now that I'm an adult and like, you know, now you can see like other people's parents as adults. I was like, wow, you really talk to those people? I'm so sorry.
When they click, you can't do nothing. They clicking. They playing good together.
Now that I've really gotten to know, I'm like, mommy, like you had to talk to this lady while I was upstairs. But she's like, yeah. I'm like, what did y'all talk? How could first of all, how could you talk to her? What did you talk about? Like,
yeah,
that sounds wrong. Like,
yeah,
absolutely. I definitely do commend parents for holding down friendships for the sake of their kids.
Yeah. That's something we don't talk about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Little Logan Pops is crazy. He talking about the Seahawks. I don't want to care about the Seahawks. I don't want to talk about none of this shit you talking about.
That's what I know.
They ain't good. They over there playing 2-on-2 ball. They rocking.
Yeah. And that's an experience that's different for everybody because I can't even remember my mom's. When my mom's talk to somebody's parent, it's because we got into it. And their parent is, you know what your kid did? And my mother's like, but what did your kid do to make my kid do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't really one of those friendly types that was out there chit-chatting. She'd be like, yo, go do what you do, and you know what to do.
Yeah. What's crazy is like my mom wasn't either. Like I on, I guess, one hand, the friends that my mom had that like weren't friends that she grew up with.
Yeah.
I got my godmom, and that is literally it. Or I have two to three people that I can think of that like I know my mom communicated with, but she still communicates with them to this day.
Right.
And that's something that I guess as a new parent where I'm trying to like just stay involved, but he's 3, so like I have to communicate with these other people. You know what I'm saying? I can't just, I guess not. I don't know. It's weird.
Shit, so before we get in the bit, I'm curious. What all of y'all? What's your oldest friend? What's your oldest friend? Like what age? Was you 2, 3? Who's your oldest friend?
Damn.
How old are you? I think actually known since like we were 4 or 5. Yeah, we met. We went to dance school together, and then just been besties since.
5, 4, 5. I ain't go from me too. 4 years old for me.
Yeah. It could be like 4.
I got a lot. I guess you call them day ones. You know what I'm saying? But one of them that I could just think of right off the back, my man Kenny, that actually lives that. Chris, we grew up in the same projects. I lived on 2. He lived on 1. And we end up being homeowners across the street from each other and didn't even know that we were building houses across the street. Yeah. I didn't even know this motherfucker was moving into my other cousin Kenny. They worked together. He was like, yo, what's the number of your house again? And I told him. He was like, yo, I think your man live across the street. And I'm like, who? He like, Kenny, the one you grew up with in Spanish. I'm like, no way. And I went out on my deck for like an hour and waited for him. I just sat there like, hopefully he'll come out the house. He came out, I was like, no. Started screaming, nigga, wait. So he's one of my oldest. We grew up again. He's I think a year older than me, so we grew up around that age though. Elementary school and all that. Lived in the same hood, same building, and we end up living across the street from each other as adults, raising our families together. So he's one of them. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying you lying.
I don't think you understood how I heard that. That was such a beautiful. That was such a beautiful friendship story.
That sounded like a Fat Joe story.
Like, I waited out on the deck for an hour. Waited on the show, and then he did. Yeah. We were so happy. It's like that's
Sis, I'm pulling a Jada kiss on him.
Nah, I'm just telling you what it is, man. I'm just telling you what it is, man. At that point, it was no, we as men, we could be macho, right, Chris? We could be like prideful and all that. But for me, I was just like so filled with joy. I'm like, yo, we both made it. Like, the success rate coming out the project is extremely low. And I'm just talking about regular success. To become a homeowner, and he was a business owner, to kind of do the exact same thing without even having a conversation and end up in the same community is like, what's that 0.001%? You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna sit out here and wait because I need to see if this shit is true. You know what I'm saying? So, like it's a beautiful thing, man. So he's definitely one of my oldest, man. Yeah. Proud, man.
I think for me, bro, I have a lot of those stories. So like, and I have these moments where like when I'm with my friends. So I'll start by saying probably 90% of my friends today I grew up with. So like I can think of one person, I call them, and they're all, I'm gonna say cousin and brother, right? Like you probably won't hear me say friend, but one of my cousins, TJ, we grew up together since literally his birthday is a month before mine. We went through church together. My mom, his mom, they grew up together. And so like now, like I was just telling him last month, I went to his house. Him and his wife just bought big ass house in Charlotte. He got like a playground in the back. You know what I'm saying? The kids just go in the playroom and play. And it's just like, damn, bro, like we're here. You know what I'm saying? Like we did every single thing that we said we was going to do. I got another brother, Jordan. We grew up, we were like 7 years old. Another brother, Kennedy. Kennedy we played on a football team together. My first year playing football, I was like 7 years old. And then he was also my college roommate. It was 4 of us. And so I'm in his wedding. I'm in his wedding on Sunday.
Crazy.
Yeah. So like I grew up. That's probably why I'm so no nonsense. Like I said, it's really about family. And it's not even the family that is thrust upon you, right? Like your aunts and all of, but like I'm a firm believer, bro. You can choose family, and it sounds like Shadio. That's what you did, right? Like there's no shame in waiting outside. Like, nah, I'm about to holler at this dude. Like that's my boy, and I'm proud of him too. I think we need more of that. We definitely got to tell each other we're proud of each other.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I went to Kenny's wedding too. He got married and all that. Yeah, man. And again, Chris, this is what this show is about. Like, we love to talk about success, but we love to talk about family too, because what we talk about, the propaganda is overshadowing the family. We're not hearing enough success stories of family. We need to hear that. Yo, guess what? Chris is a successful businessman, but he's also a successful father. He's also a successful husband, right? It is possible, right? Like, and we need to keep pushing that narrative so that more people can start changing their mindset of what relationships look like, what the village looks like, what family looks like, right? And that's it, man. You just, those that are true to you, you should be true to them. And
you gotta be a snake or a sucker for success. That ain't true.
Right there, that part
ain't true.
That part, cuzzo.
Yeah, shit is real.
And I mean, it's like we talked about last time. Like everybody can't go, but that doesn't mean that that's not family. Like obviously, you can adopt family throughout your entire journey, and I mean, you should, especially if you live in like how they say God will want us to live, right, and treating everybody like equals, right? Like love on your neighbors. So it's like you do that, and then Jerry, like you said, they're gonna show you. Like you'll know who not to befriend and who not to bring into the family, and who to bring into the family. Like.
You gotta have discernment. I know what bros I'm bringing to the spot and the hole in the wall, and I know who I'm bringing to this. You know what I'm saying? I can't bring you around certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's all love. I'll teach you. It's nothing personal, but I gotta progress myself. And if I win, you win. But I can't have you come in prematurely and fuck the whole thing up for everybody. We work hard, so it's a tough decision to make, but you got to make it.
100%. I just was telling somebody that, bro. It's like, and I always use sense like, I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
What we call that, Chris? We call those day twos. See, and a lot of people, everything you hear, day one. Well, day one people, you don't get to choose. Like, let's talk about it really quickly. Your day ones, anybody that you consider a day one, 9 out of 10 is a product of your environment. It's the people that your parents put you around, or whoever was raising you put you in your environment, and you bonded with. You had no choice, right? Similar environment, similar story. You bond. Those are day ones. Now, moving on, like Cuzzo said, we start to be successful. We're doing a thing. We're elevating. The day ones that can't keep up or are doing different things, you have to now eliminate. Now, here's the day twos. The day twos are the people that you align yourself with along the journey that become family, right? That, I didn't grow up with you, but I met you doing this, and we actually became family because of the alignment of spirituality and commonplace and the village and stuff like that. So we need to start putting more emphasis on day two people, right? The people that you choose to make them your family, not the people that are, in your environment that end up being family because of just a situationship of you growing up together. The nostalgia of a thing. Because day one's what you really talking about, that ain't progression, right? You go back to the block, Chris, what you talking about? Yo, what's up? Da-da-da, blah. You still doing the same shit. You was here 20 years ago when I came back to you in the same spot doing it. The conversation gets boring after a while. You want to talk about other things. So after a while, it becomes tedious. You're like, yo, I got to go.
Yeah, I'll be back.
But when I come through, it's still love, though.
Yeah.
I see you situational.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time, but I mean that just is what it is. I feel like too, we do a good job as a culture of like just glorifying failures. Like everybody wants to tell the hood stories, but nobody wants to tell the story of like this. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons. I know we'll talk about that too, but lessons that I myself learned is like, bro, you can actually talk about where you come from, but also highlight where you've been, and you know what I'm saying, just where you're going to at the same time.
Damn, Santa.
Oh,
Is that you?
That ain't me.
It ain't me.
That ain't my fault.
no.
Oh, that
So
is.
my question is,
That's
so
the day ones that we left behind. Niggas sending interference. They coders now.
hey, they went somewhere. They went to code. Everyone should learn to code.
That's a fact.
Interfering with the podcast, you motherfucker.
Everyone in STEM. No, because nobody was trying to thought I had a question because I was leading into so what's next? I want to know what's new, business wise, life wise. Like, what's new? When's the last time y'all spoke with these gentlemen?
So last time we spoke to y'all, we had just moved out of. We was in a 16-person office. Went down to a 1-person office. So like literally last time, when was that? Was that last year or the year before?
No, that was shit like 6 months ago. Like
7 months ago.
Probably like February.
Wow.
You was episode 179. This is 232.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. So yeah, so literally at that time we had gotten rid of everybody. And just really just like reconstruct it, kind of rework the business. And again, it's more of a media entertainment platform now. So think about like what Complex is to sneakers and fashion, community is to streamers and just gaming culture in general. And so that crosses the whole board of what we call like alternative Black culture, right? It's all things outside the norm of mainstream Black culture. So we're talking about skateboarding, we're talking about anime, we're talking about video gaming, we're talking about music, but as it relates to the music that's not in the mainstream, right? Like I think Jid is one of those artists that you're starting to see more mainstream Black outlets talk about. Yeah. And so like those are the people that like this audience listen to. They like my partner goes back and forth with me all the time about the Suicide Boys. Like and they just changed their name. He was so happy, bro. They changed their name to the Boys. And he like, yes, thank God. I knew it was gonna happen. But yeah, so it's like all things outside the norm of traditional Black culture. But that kind of landed us a deal with Live Nation Urban. And so Live Nation Urban, bro, just joined the cap table. And so we're gonna be working with them basically to fuel what is like the next generation of Black experiences, again, like for outside the norms of traditional Black culture. So they're gonna be helping us with our kickback event series, Trap Sushi. Obviously, we're gonna be doing some things in there. We have with Trap Sushi, we're doing the first ever anime inspired like hip hop festival. And so that's going to be in Atlanta in October 18th, in exactly a month, actually. We got Waka Flocka is going to be headlining. Travis Porter is going to be there. We got Tia Corinne, who just dropped a song with Jid, who's going to be there too. And so, yeah, man, we're really getting into, it's really like getting back outside for real, touching the people, working with Live Nation. I think with Live Nation now and us from like the media perspective we're looking at rivaling some of the larger Black entertainment platforms that are out there that I don't like. BET's not even Black owned anymore. So I have to run some numbers and come back. But yeah, what we're going after, bro, is the largest Black owned entertainment platform in the world.
Message.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I got a question though. So let's talk business because this is very important. 16-person office, you have to downsize. Now, you don't have to tell us, why you downsize, but now these are employees that technically rely on the business for an income and things of that nature. How did that affect you, right? Because last time we spoke, you had never done that before, right? You were only upscaling, right? So how did that affect you and how did you handle that with understanding this is where the business is, but in order to get it to this, we might have to downsize a little bit?
I think the biggest part is just learning to like be okay with potentially being embarrassed or just not caring at all. Because like when I was on the pod, that's why I said last year, because it felt like so long ago. The darkest cloud, like I'm talking about, oh my God, that was so down, bro. And so yeah, bro, just literally like that. I think that was the first day in that office too. And I'm just sitting there like, wow, like I'm getting claustrophobic. It's literally like shoulders length apart, like wide. And so just coming from that big office, again, we had a team of full-time staff of 14 people. Burn rate was going crazy. So that's kind of part of the reason from there. But also just like, being new entrepreneurs, like I said, with Twitch, with the HBCU Esports League, that blessed us to be able to have to hire people. Like we actually had something for people to do. But I think the lesson in that is like not hiring too fast, because we were just like, just kind of like on a hiring spree in a way, instead of like slowing down and actually building out a team that wants to grind with you. And so what I always was saying is like the first few people that you hire, like they have to have some sort of entrepreneurial mindset and they have to feel like this is theirs. Otherwise, if they're coming to get a check and they're coming and they're leaving, like it's just not gonna work. And so honestly, there's a lot of that. People, you're young, so everybody has an idea, everybody has an opinion. And for us, we try to hire older people that can kind of come in and have some sort of opinion. But there's people again that don't have the entrepreneurial mindset where like they work, but then they have the idea as well. But then when it's time to execute, it's like that might be where you lose them.
But that's interesting. You said that you hired older people. I would expect somebody like you would be hiring people from your dorm or people that's like you to come into the business. So what made you go older? You was like, they're gonna bring some sauce to the business, like.
Yeah, some seasoned, and we did have some good hires. We had a few good hires. I told y'all about Kara, I think last time. I still talk to Kara to this day. Like it just didn't work out. But as soon as I get some money, like I'm gonna go find Kara if she's still available.
Yeah.
And so it's just obviously we want some black women in there that can ruffle some feathers, especially amongst ourselves. Like it's just men on the leadership team. But yeah, so really wanted to hire some people with experience for the most part. And then the others were more like, content, youth culture focused. They were gamers and streamers themselves. And so that's, just kind of the balance, I guess, wasn't there. And I think for us, it's probably our fault. We didn't necessarily.
Nadesh, you wasn't there? See, you ain't have Nadesh's number. You needed Nadesh's number. That's why we call it a balance. She could have helped you out, Chris.
Oh, no, my brother. You got to get your Oh, no, my brother.
We're going to loan out.
Okay, with you.
I just want to say, Chris, from businessman to businessman, you should never feel embarrassed about being out there trying to create something. It is the ebb and flow of business, right? You start as a two-man, whatever you do, or one person, everybody has an idea. The moment you get an order or something that you can't handle yourself, you have to either outsource it or hire people to help you complete that order to help you scale, right? Mm-hmm. It's just the eventuality to it. But if you do research on this, a lot of companies have had that problem where they got a big boom right off the bat. You have to supply and demand, right? Supply to demand. But like you said, it's very hard to learn that balance of how not to scale too fast when the demand is there and you have to fill it.
Right.
Until the demand kind of slows down and now you're like, what do we do? You know what I mean? So, but I just want to tell you, don't feel embarrassed. You're not the only person that has done that. There's been several companies, for example, like Forever 21, that was kind of their downfall. They scaled really, really fast and then was burning through shit and they end up having to close down and Upwork. And you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of companies that did that. Some say Uber did that, right? So there's a lot of companies that are very, very successful that have gone through exactly the same thing that you're going through. You shouldn't feel embarrassed. You actually should feel honored, right? Because that lets you know that you're on the right path because you're not going through something that companies that have exceeded, what you've done haven't gone through either.
Yeah. No, right. And even like to your point, just like doing more research, I mean, like Elon Musk almost had, I think he was like 24 hours away from having to file bankruptcy, like his employees out of pocket for so long. Same with Steve Jobs having to, almost shut Apple down, and then he lost Apple and then he got it back.
Right.
And did y'all watch the Dame Dash Breakfast Club interview?
Yes.
Absolutely.
He said mandatory.
That jam was mad funny.
That
jam was mad
out, bro. It took me out. He was like, nobody's listening to you. Your name should be Det Dash.
That was hilarious.
It took me out. Charlamagne took me out with that shit. I ain't
I'll say the one thing that I agree with Dame Dash on was like, he's like, yo, why should I be embarrassed because I had to file bankruptcy? Like Trump, how many times have Trump filed bankruptcy? Right. He's the president. Right. And I'm like, yeah, you got a point. And so like, yeah, now you're right. Like when you're building something, nobody understands. And that's the embarrassment. That's why it's like, it's lonely at the top, but it's like, bro, it's just, they just don't understand. And it ain't your job to make them understand either. You drive yourself crazy. So I guess that's when those day twos come into play. Mm-hmm. And, you have those people that you can talk about those things too.
So I want to know, because we've been thinking about the speed of your success. What is one of the biggest lessons you learned in that experience? Like just getting successful so quickly.
I'll give you two. I think the first one is like, you can't be a hero to everybody. If you're trying to be a hero to everybody, like you're going to be a hero to nobody. The second one is just be yourself. I think even like, and I know we've all been to Cannes, right? Like that's one of those places where it's like Cannes is funny. I think Cannes, any of these conferences to me is funny because it's like when you're there, you're like, oh, like just listening to a panel, you're like, oh shit, like they actually don't know what they're talking about. Oh. It doesn't make sense. And it's like, no, I would do this. I'm like, I would, it's one of those things, and it's not just Cannes. It's a lot of professionals that work at corporations and brands that, for a young entrepreneur, a young Black entrepreneur, it was a little bit intimidating. I ain't gonna lie, just showing up in those rooms because I had never been in a room with CEOs. Like I already listened to, I forget his name, Elon Musk brother spoke on the panel, and I'm like, right there, right? Like we're walking into houses and there's like violinists serenading people while you're looking over the French Riviera drinking wine, and it's very easy for a young Black kid to be like, oh shit, I don't belong here. But yeah, I mean, these brands want what you have. Like you are the magic. And so that was one of the bigger things that, again, I'm still learning today. I have to tell myself that every day, to just be yourself.
Message. And I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
He was in Kansas. I didn't think about how that can be overwhelming for a young Black professional, bro. It is overwhelming. You got Cardi B forming a Snapchat. You got this one. You're walking past A-Rod and Jimmy Kimmel and all these people. And you're like, where do I belong in the midst of all this stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's even like for us, right? And we talked about this, Jared, at the table. But like there's that world, and then there's also like this Black elite world, call it Martha's Vineyard or whatever, that for a young Black person, for like I'm from the South, so it's like, damn, I don't know about any of these things. I don't know about any of these people. Like, yeah, where do I fit in? And so yeah, that's probably the most intimidating thing. It's like, damn, like I know I belong here because I've had enough success throughout this journey. Enough people tell me that I'm on the right path, but it's still a thing. It's still a fight to like.
But the black elites, or just elites in general, you know what they respect? They respect success.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So that's how you fit in. They respect success at the end of the day, right? Like, so they're going to be coming to you. You do belong there, but at the end of the day, they want to see what you move with, the sauce that you do have, the knowledge that you do have, right? Because they've gone through their own journey, them trials and tribulations to get to where they are, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's the success. You get the success, you'll be able to. You don't have to fit in. You'll stand out, and they'll come to you, and they'll be trying to fit in your room.
100%.
I'm gonna take the opposite approach. I don't really give a fuck if you respect what I did or not, because confidence in oneself is my priority, right? Confidence and self-confidence is confidence in oneself. I don't give a fuck if you respect me or not. I understand that success has completely 100 million different avenues of approach. So just because you did a thing a certain way and was successful doesn't mean that it can't be successful the same exact thing another way. You know what I mean? So when and I believe, Cuzzo, you feel the same way, because when we walk in a room, I've never seen you be starstruck. We've been in rooms. You know what I'm saying, Chris? And we walk in and we're never starstruck. We just us, right? Because I mean, I feel like we feel the same way. Like you a man, I'm a man, you a man. You put your pants on the same way I put my pants on. Just because you got money, you still go through the same exact shit that I go through. You got women issues, you got money, your money might go up and what's the difference, right? You understand what I'm saying? So I think when you walk in and you wear that confidence, that just speaks volumes within itself. Like we going, oh, what's up? What's going on, brother? How you feeling? But ain't nobody starstruck. Like, yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you, but whether you respect it or not, we in the building. Like
we in the building. I ain't starstruck, but it is some situations we be lying. I be lying to say, okay, like, damn, I'm here. This
okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like we done had lunch with billionaires, bro, and I'm like, yo, we
appreciate the moments.
You gotta be like, yo,
yeah, no, I appreciate the moment, but when I say like starstruck, you know what I'm talking about, like that celebrity shit where you run up to my mom and you kind of fan out. Like I've never seen you do that.
So who's that one person that would? Is somebody that would make you do that? Who's that?
Nah, it's for me. It's
I don't think. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been starstruck either. I think it's more so like going back to the conferences, right? And not to call anyone out. I think for me, I'm always like, yo, I'm confident because I know my intentions. And then again, while you're there, it's like they don't have the same intentions. Like they actually don't care about the people. And I was just telling the people at the Telly Awards yesterday, like, yo, the internet in the grand scheme of things is to do two things. It's to exploit public opinion. You got the media, they're telling a story, they're telling you what to believe, and then they're trying to sell products. And it's like those two things as a brand, if you're honest, and I just want to sell product. Like you don't have to be black. Like you're not black. You're not a person. You know what I'm saying? You just want people to come in here and buy shit. Like, so just say that. Let's be transactional. I come buy something, you tell me to keep buying stuff, and then you reward me, and that's the transactional relationship. And I think it's for us, it's like even starting as a nonprofit with the HBCU Esports League, Money to Kids, like all of those things, it's like you kind of have to develop some sort of shark, where you know what I'm saying, like you can care, but you can't show that you care because then you're not gonna get the money. So you have to get the money and then care. But like you're like in that whole process, that's the part that's daunting. It's like, oh yeah, all right, now I gotta go in here and fake the funk because you don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just it's bullshit conversation a lot of times.
No, that was real as it gets.
Yeah. That's not working.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the bullshit conversations, Chris, and me and Cuzzo and Nadej have talked about this. Let's talk about the conferences. It's when you go to the conference and you link up with somebody and you feel like it's a genuine connection. Y'all exchange numbers. Yo, let's keep in contact, man. Let's build. And then you hit them afterwards and it's crickets.
Barnell Hill.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's those situations where it's like, oh, you was just faking it because we were there, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? You didn't really want to build. You just didn't want to look like you didn't want to build in the moment because everybody was watching what was going on, and you're going to have that, right? You're going to have that. And there are people that I'm a big Dame Dash fan. Me and Cuz will talk about this all the time. If I meet Dame Dash, I'm going to give him his flowers. I'm not like, I don't want to misconstrue the message I'm sending. There are people that if I meet them, I'm going to be like, yo, you know what, man? I appreciate the person that I feel like you are because I don't know you personally, or I feel like I appreciate what you've done because it has inspired me in this way. Now, I'll definitely give somebody their flowers, but past that, it's like, but you've made mistakes also, right? Nobody's perfect, right? So whether you like respect what I'm doing or be like, oh, you ain't doing shit, that's where it goes out the window. Because like I'm going to do my journey. You was allowed to do your journey. I'm allowed to do my journey. So that's what I was saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, keep it gangster with us, bro. We met at Black Week. What was your first impression? Keep it gangster.
Of y'all?
Yeah, you seen how we was moving in Black Week. What was your first, like, because we met through a mutual friend who told us, like, nah, they the real, bro. And he's our big bro. He's both of our big brothers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And once he said that it was nothing else to talk about. It's like, yo, take my number and you call it. I'm picking up. It's nothing to talk about. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what was your first impression of what we was doing? I'm just curious.
Oh, and I saw y'all. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, all right, I'm at home. And that is crazy because that made me feel more comfortable than any of the other days that I was there. And I think that was the last day, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was the last day.
Oh no, it was the
second day. The journey was in a step and repeat.
Yeah, but it was the either second or third day because the last day was at the office. Technically. like downtown at the World Trade Center. So it was even like the second or third day that we were in the actual studio.
Whatever day we was in the executive room with the step and repeat.
Yeah.
That's when it was lit.
Yeah.
That was the third day. Yeah. And then just like I said, y'all, because I had come out of a really good conversation. And then seeing y'all, like you said, it was just love, like instantly. And that's what I'm used to. Like I've always been the baby growing up. Like on both sides of the family, I'm the baby. I always hung with my brothers and his, you know what I'm saying, his friends, all my cousins, like they're all older than me. And so I always got love like what y'all showed pretty much.
Right.
So for me, it was just like, oh, this is what it's about.
And that's what the frustration that Cuzzo's talking about. Because the love that we showed there, bro, and first of all, we got love for the owners. They told us to be there. We sacrificed a lot just to be there, bro. You talk about Dark Cloud. It was a tough time for our business. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We made sure that we were there through hook or crook. You know what I'm saying? Through hook or crook. And everybody met us, bro. We had 40 guests on the show that were there. So imagine coming through and you got 40 guests in the building. It's like,
our guests too.
My dog. And they looking like, yo, who are these people? And the way we have an energy, you see us with the CEO Revolt. You see us with this, like, yo, bro, we had the CEO Revolt 5 years ago on the show. This is like our first time linking up in person in Black Week. And you see us at the Step and Repeat doing what we do. But what we saying is like, yo, we give genuine love. So when we see our people, we make sure we go out of our way. Not even out of our way. This is just who we are. To make sure everybody feels comfortable to do what they do. We connecting people on the spot. Yo, you don't know Chris, you don't know them, you don't know, talk. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. So when it's not reciprocated like that, it just feels like, damn, it'll jade you. You know what I'm saying? So I know what Cuzzo saw, and I tell him all the time, don't jump off the ledge. I'm like, this is how it goes sometimes. It's just, you might not get a text back for a week. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. We can't take it personal, but I wish it was better.
Yeah, and now is more fuel than anything. And again, that's something that you learn. Like you hear it, where it's like, oh, they don't believe in me. Like, you know, all these rappers got the story of somebody telling them that, you know, they might be dumb or they might not never graduate or they won't be nothing in life. But like, sometimes you need that. And so like, and what we don't realize is like, we've all probably been there. And it's those little moments where it's like, you just brushing it off as something, but nah, it's real. Like they actually probably don't believe in you. And it's okay. Now it's time to show them.
That part right there, Chris. So that's my frustration. No, I'm going to take it personal. I'm taking it personal because you don't believe in me genuinely. And I'd rather you just tell me that. Like, right. Yo, you're not there yet, shorty.
Yeah.
Grind. I would respect that shit 100 over 100. Be like, yo, you're not there yet, shorty. I see you, but you're not there yet. I would respect that. But don't fake befriend me, right? And then when I reach out, even if it's just to check on you or just tutelage or something, because we don't ask for nothing.
We don't ask for much.
Right. And you fucking ghost me, right? So me and Cuzzo will talk, and my stance is I'm not going to disown you, but as we elevate, I'm watching when you tap back in. Mm-hmm. Now, if you didn't tap back in at level 1, 2, and 3, and I met you at level 0, and we get to level 5, and now everybody's tapping in, and then you tap in, sure, we can have a conversation, but it ain't the conversation we'd have had back at level 0.
Right now,
you ain't a day 1 no more. You a day 2. You a day 3 now. Yeah. So now it's this conversation. There it is, Pablo. Now,
price.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yesterday's price is not today's price.
Now, Dej called it. Like now the conversation is different. Now it's I know your intentions. Like you said, let's keep it 100. You want me to buy a thing? You want me to do a thing? I'll do a thing. This is what my number looks like to do a thing now.
Exactly.
That's it. You want my support? This is what my support looks like now, because this is what your support looks like now.
Yeah, and it's all leverage. Like
there we go.
One negotiate. So like you said, I mean, and depending on where you are in that moment when you do circle back, maybe I won't charge you. Like it has to make sense for me.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. So we got this big deal now. We got this big deal coming up. You have already experienced what a big deal looks like, upscaling and then having a downscale. What precautions now? Because now, right, this is another big deal on the table. What precautions are you taking now to make sure that you don't repeat the same mistakes that you did on the first deal with this Live Nation deal, as far as like scaling and handling how you deal with this one?
I think the biggest thing, bro, is like just not giving your power away.
Okay.
The minute that you hired 10 to 12 people, it's like Power's gone. But you know what I'm saying, like making sure that we kind of stay in control. We make sure that we are controlling the narrative that we want to tell. And so I say that by saying like really just getting out there. So like I was talking to Jerry about this too when we went to get drinks, but like showcasing myself more.
Okay.
Talking about the brand, like actually being the face and like just telling these stories, because I mean I've tried to hide behind it for so long, and I think that is to our detriment too. Because then it's like now the more that you're going to talk to brands like, oh, we did Space Jam with LeBron James and Warner Brothers and Xbox, and like nobody believes it because I'm not out there amplifying these things and telling the world I'm trying to hide behind the work. When in reality, no one really cares about the work. They care about, I guess, you and like how you talk about the work in a way. Message. I guess number two is like just trying to be undeniable as much as possible. I always look at now like Kai Cenat, for example. Like Kai can get the largest budget from the largest brand and without compromising himself because he's undeniable. Like, you know how many people are coming to watch him. You know the impact he has. You know what he's going to drive to store or, you know, CSR if it's a quick service restaurant, QSR. And so now like you can't tell him what to do on his stream, but you're going to pay him that money in a large lump sum of it because he's moving a real culture.
A good analogy is the Crawford and Canelo fight. There's an A and a B fighter, right? Building up your audience. The A fighter is the person who has the audience. Normally, that's the brand. That's the Coca-Cola. That's the Sprite. Whatever it is, right? Whoever you're talking about, they've built up an audience, right? The way you get the leverage is building up an audience bigger than them, and that's how you get the leverage to be able to do something like Kai Cenat is doing. So that's why it's so important to stay consistent, build your audience, going direct to consumer, DDC, right? You have to know your audience. Kai knows the fuck out of his audience. He caused the whole meltdown in Union Square. 10, 15,000, 20, I don't know how many thousand people came. But he made just sent a tweet out and people left their house.
Yeah.
That is buying power. That is more power than we as a culture even understand.
100%. And it also helps to be genuine, like you said. I mean, because Kai doesn't build that community for himself without being himself.
There it goes. There it goes.
And if he did, then that's where you get, like we said earlier in the conversation, just the rest of your life is, it's a daunting day because you really don't even want to do this thing, but now you stuck doing it because that's how you put yourself out there in the first place.
That's real, bro.
You know, I got another question.
Right back in. That was mad smooth.
I never skip a beat. We professionals at this thing,
Chris, that was nuts.
The timing is crazy, man. You know, I got another big question for you, Chris, and I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this, but this is extremely important when we talk about generational wealth building. You are now building a company, your last name, your company, right? Your child is 3 years old. When do you start educating your child in what you do and saying, you know, you might develop a passion or something later on in life that you might want to do, but in the meantime, let me teach you about what the company does. So just in case you don't develop a passion for something and want to do something later, you can come and work for your family, for your own last name, and help build the legacy. At what age do you think you're going to start doing that?
I want to say ASAP.
Okay.
I got this vision of me like going on trips, like again, New York, bro. I'm like, if my son was with me, it'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? He could come, he could sit, he could listen to me talk to the team. He can listen, just kind of sit in the corner of the boardroom. We might be at Nike, right? And he's sitting in the corner, just listening, kind of soaking it all in. I don't know how realistic that is. But at what age? I don't know. I'd probably say like, I don't know, man. I think honestly, I want to start with like just using excitement as like the compass.
Okay.
Like, whatever excites you, because like right now he's in the cars, and so like he watched football with me. He'd be like, I want to watch football. He'll go outside and play soccer with the kids. But like he really loves cars. 9 times out of 10, if he's outside, he's playing with cars and he's by himself. So I'm like, he's interested in cars. So how can we, lean into that? I'm from Charlotte, so that's home of NASCAR. One of my good my frat brothers is the head of partnerships for 2311, Michael Jordan's NASCAR team. And so like I'm already trying to like make sure, when the time does come, can he do something along the lines? But I think for media and advertising, it'll probably be immediately, because those are the things that, rule the world. But also want to make sure that he's doing whatever is like making him excited too. And I think he'll probably see me working and just kind of like pick up on some things because that's all I'm doing anyway. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know at what age. As long as he's doing something, I feel like.
Right.
Like just keep moving.
Kids are sponges. And I think more often than not, parents in general wait entirely too long to start trying to pour into a child to learn the thing. They say the most malleable stages of a human being's life is those child stages. So if you want to teach them multiple languages, teach them as a child, right? Anything you want to teach them, teach it to them when they're still a sponge and they're just absorbing everything so that way they can start building from it, right? So by you being by your son being 3, even if you're not teaching him about the business of how it runs in general, you can start just giving them little business acumen. Like, do you know what a business is? Do you know what daddy does? Do you know how, a business structure? Teaching them about financial, like, hey, you're going to start, you want an allowance, you want some money for some candy. I think like earlier, the better. That way, as he starts to grow, even like I said, whatever he decides to do, you still need financial management skills. You still need business acumen skills. That way it better prepares you for any choice that he decides to make in life, right? So that's why I asked you that question, because that is a topic that we don't talk about a lot.
Yeah.
That is a topic that a lot of parents don't talk about, because you know why? Because you give the power to the school system. You assume that my child is in the educational school system and they're going to teach my child the things that they're supposed to know to be successful. But in today's age, we are seeing that they're dismantling the educational school system. So now as parents, we have to take that power back and say, you know what, your teacher's not going to be the 80% teacher of education now. I'm going to be the 80% teacher, and they're just going to reinforce what I'm teaching you. So now guess what your child does? You start teaching them things at home. It's like a conference. When he goes to school, and if the teacher says something that's not alike, I'm like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I know he ain't going to say it, but he's like, I know you're wrong because my dad already told me the real. And he's going to be able to start spotting out what to, absorbing the shit that he can like, nah, that's bullshit. I'm not listening to that. And I think that's going to put him in an extremely better position growing up.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're right. The earlier the better. I think.
Oh man, you see
that sound.
You know what that is? That's them interrupting the interview because they don't want us talking about that. God damn it.
Thank you, Mr. Chattier, for today's class lesson.
You know who did that, Chris?
The man.
Man.
It was the fucking man.
Fucking man, Chris. The man did that.
Nah, you spot on though, man. Spot on. And then it's like kids today are studying for jobs that won't even exist in the next 10 years, bro. So like somebody has to teach them.
So, because I want to know more, I want to ask you about like mentorship, in the sense of like, right, you've done something no one else has done. So, what was it like? What was it like having mentors, like guiding you in that space? And what would you say to someone, right, as a mentee to that? What is it like? What's some advice you can give, like going into a direction that no one else has gone before?
So we talked about this too. So my mentors growing up were like football coaches. And they were like, we learned about life. Like I learned how to be a man through, you know what I'm saying, my dad, but then I also had my football coaches who were there alongside me. For business, that's where it got tricky because like, and I think that's where it got hard too and kind of dark because like you by yourself, or at least I was by myself. So I really didn't have a lot of business mentors. I had, we talked about Dante Simpson. Dante, I would say, came on as a mentor like maybe like 2 years ago. He's been around, but like he would always, throw little nuggets out there. But now you can call Dante and ask for anything. He's busy, so he might not pick up. But now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna call him 5 times. And you know what I'm saying, just see if he'll pick up. But yeah, I didn't really have a lot of mentors in business. And so now I'm slowly starting to I like how Chatty mentioned like the day twos. Because now I'm like, all right, I gotta find some more day twos. And that's another learning lesson that I've learned is like, yeah, you need people to lean on that's either been there or tried to go there and failed, but that can kind of stop you from doing the same thing and making the same mistakes that they did.
Message.
I'm gonna pull your card too, though, bro. You never called us. You're part of the family. You've never asked to meet nobody.
That's the other half of it.
Oh shit!
That's the other half of it. Bro. It's like, all right, so then when you get it, now you got to call. And for me, it's like, yeah, I don't want to ask. You see,
That's real too, though. That's mad.
Yeah, we
like, do the same shit.
Because it's like, and you know, I don't know, man. I guess internally, it's like the opportunity isn't big enough yet to ask.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
Okay, here we go.
It's always an opportunity to ask, right? So how I got my first mentor was Ken Gibbs, and it was just his birthday. So happy birthday, bro! I love you. You know what it is, baby.
Happy B-Day, Ken.
You know what I'm saying? So my bro Ken Gibbs. So I met him at a conference. I'm sitting in the conference. I'm not gonna go long-winded, but I'm sitting there in the conference. I'm in the stands. Listen, you know, we hear people talk, but he was talking that shit. And I'm talking to my people I'm working with. I'm like, yo, who that? They're like, yo, that's the VP of BET and all that. I'm like, oh, word? You know, because I know I'm not going to ask. I'm like, yo, somebody should holler at him. You know what I mean? We got to make sure we boom, boom.
Yeah.
Nobody stepped up to the plate. I'm like, you know what? Everybody ran a Lala Milan. So she was a big influence at the time. You know what I mean? 100,000 million followers, whatever. Yo, everybody ran over there. I ran straight to Ken. I'm like, yo, Ken, what's up, bro? Like, I heard everything you said. What's going on? Boom, boom. Yo, Ken, I just want to learn from you. But it's hard to say that when they don't know you. A stranger danger. You're like, yeah, I just got to say that. I heard you. I bet. Yeah. So hit me up on LinkedIn, and I'm gonna get in touch with you. Connect with them on LinkedIn right away, bro. It took 7 months to get a response. A generic happy birthday. You know the shit that come up on LinkedIn? It's Ken Gibbs' birthday. I'm like, oh shit, happy birthday. And it came with a balloon or some shit. He hit me with, 20 minutes later, he was like, yo, my executive assistant is going to hit you up. You're going to get 30 minutes, one time a month, and we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And I said, holy shit. I said, damn! I got the VP of BT to say that, and the executive assistant hit me, did all that shit to talk to me, bro. So what that did was spark the fire for this. If he could say yes, who else is willing to say yes?
Yeah, damn. No, that's a great point. I think
you gotta ask.
Yeah, and it probably gets in the way because, like, I don't want to say it's a South thing, but bro, we don't really talk about what we do for work, and it could be a church thing, but like we talk about everything else. Like I said, I think we're addicted to talking about the failures. We all want to, like, that conversation is very easy, but then it's like, all right, now let's put our heads together and like develop something, or even like something as little as like asking this person what they do. Like that never registered to me until 5 years ago when we started Community. They're like, oh shit, when you talk to people, you ask what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like you show interest in these people. Like that never existed before. And so then it's like, I don't know, you kind of like build this resistance of just like asking people for things.
But it's a mindset though, bro. Anybody who comes into my space, I feel like it's for a reason. The reason I don't know at that moment, but it's up to me to figure it out. Like, I've got mad story, bro. I was sitting at an NCAA game and was sitting next to the CRO of the Cleveland Cavaliers in the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
And we talking about just parenting. He told me that shit 40 minutes later. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? So everything is for a reason, bro. Every conversation. I just want us to shift that mindset because we always have that stranger danger. Just be you. If somebody's in your section or somebody came across your joint, if you got a gut feeling that something's going to happen, like, yo, just trust your gut. Do that. Like, just be you. Like you said, be you. And it's going to come through, bro. Like, and make the ass. Because on our culture, we don't make the ass. I think more times we got to stop bullshitting. Like, yo, bro, we want to play the relationship game, but sometimes we need to be like, I just need X, Y, and Z. Can you do it?
Mm-hmm.
The delicate balance.
That's the thing. That's
delicate
the
balance.
That's the thing.
All I'm gonna say is delicate balance. Understand that when you are meeting somebody that is extremely successful, they probably run across 1,000 people a day that are asking for a favor.
No, not your first touch. Never.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. And family. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I said delicate balance. Right. But I will say this, Chris. When you are building a thing, right, even if it's not what you need it to be, right? You heard what you said. It's getting people that are other entrepreneurs that have the same mindset, right? So, for example, like you said, yo, bro, can we come back? Absolutely, you could come back on the show. But not only can you come back on the show, the next question is, how can we support you? What do you need from us to help support you? When you understand, that has to be the next question, because we want to bring you on the show, we want to get the message out, but if the relationship is not transactional and we're truly trying to build this village, what can we do to help you win, right? Even if it's not a monetary exchange in the moment, we want to be there. So like Cuzzo said, like we didn't get paid for Black Week. Like I'm just telling you what it is. We actually spent like $3K to be at Black Week because of all the rules and shit that they signed in the contract. We had to buy extra equipment just to fit the fucking format of the contract that they signed to do it at that studio. So we actually spent a lot of money to be there, but we was there to support them and look at the outcome from that, right? So that's what we're saying, right? A lot of times, if you're building, you have to build, right? It's not going to be a monetary exchange, but it's just an opportunity to be in the room. Hey, why don't you guys come, down to this event, blah, blah, blah. Just be in the room. Be you and be in the room, right? Come support, but just let me bring you in this room. And hey, Chris, you going to be in New York? Matter of fact, you going to be a coach? Let be in the room, right? And let's collectively do what we do individually, but then show them that we're working together also, which shows a bigger force because it's always strength in numbers.
Factuals.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
No, and it's crazy, like just even listening to that, because I'm the same way with other people that ask me the same question. Like people ask me, like, "Yo, can I like on LinkedIn? Like, I can show you probably 20 messages.
Right. I'm
just sending my email out, like yeah, hit me up. Like, yeah, sure. 30 minutes, like." Yeah, let's do it. It's younger kids like, hey man, I just started an esports program in my high school. Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, bro, let's do it because I didn't have that. But now it's like on the flip side. All right, now you gotta go get it. And like we said earlier, like either they're gonna say yes or they're gonna say no. If they say no, all right, now I have to prove myself, and then the conversation is just gonna be different because I'm gonna win.
A lot of it is FaceTime too, Chris. It's okay, I seen you at one event. Okay, everybody's at one event. Now I seen you at another event. Now I seen you at another event. Now it's like, what the fuck? Every room I'm in, you're in. Now I know we don't do the same thing, but even if I ain't speak to you, it sparks that curiosity.
Yeah,
it's you.
It's you. How is it me? How is it me? That doesn't mean it's me.
I don't know.
You're the only one with the boom mic. You're the only one with the mic.
Professional mic. It does not make noise. Excuse me, in my Russian voice.
The world where this is a professional. Make noise.
It does not make noise. It does what I tell it to do.
Was that
right?
But you understand what I'm saying, Chris? You know how many opportunities we've run into by being in a room. We walked into a situation where obviously it's not our event. The person we went to support is the headliner. But by his reaction to us being there, everybody else was like, well, who the fuck are they?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he stopped this whole conversation. Was like, oh, shit, more than the title. Back guys, what up? In the middle of a conversation, in the middle of a circle. Hold on, time out. My guys is here. So they like, well, who the fuck? Like that. And then another guy looks at us like, oh, shit, what are you doing here? We said, well, you clearly didn't send the invite. You know what I'm saying? And then holding people accountable, right? Yeah, we just had you on the show too, and we just spoke to you, but you clearly didn't send the invite, but clearly we're still here. Once again, right? That shows resilience. Like whether you rock with us or not, we're in the building now. And get used to us, right? We're gonna be in these rooms, so get used to us, right? So it's that FaceTime also, like showing them you're not going away. You're serious about this. This is not like, touch and go. It's not a hobby. This is what we're doing, and we're gonna be in this space for a long time.
Method.
I'm saying,
yeah, not for sure, bro. And like I said, like most businesses, I think there's a good 80% of businesses fail within that first 5-year mark. So by the grace of God, we're still here and still kicking. But not like you said, it's just showing up to these different events. And that's how we got started with, relationships. We were able to build relationships with Twitch and then put something on the platform. And then like, yo, look at this. And then, turns around that they're like, oh, let's actually partner. And then, just kind of consistently build from there. So I personally had to do a much better job at networking, or like we were talking about, Chad, when you jumped off, but like, just being undeniable. I think that's what I'm working on now. It's just like being undeniable, because I don't know that I can. I'm not gonna say I can't get better at networking. I don't know that I care. I probably shouldn't say that either. I think if you're undeniable,
that's real though.
Everything else, it's like everything else at that point just makes sense, because now you have a community of people that you can get to move at any point in time, and it's built on genuine connection. That's what we're talking about, like with Casanet, for example. So Kai Cenat is probably the only streamer that I know of that can work with the brands such as like a McDonald's, for example, and like there's nothing that they can change about his stream. He's gonna say what he want to say. He's gonna wear what he want to wear. He's gonna do what he want to do. But you just know that he's the guy, right? Like he has the community that's gonna actually move people to do what we want to do as a brand. And so that's like my next goal is really just building it so that it's undeniable. I don't want to have to keep introducing myself when I walk in the rooms.
That part. But it's also being okay with understanding that when the alignment is not there, it's okay. So let's use Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat had a Nike deal and lost the Nike deal, right? Mm-hmm. Why? Because of his religious preferences, right? Because they asked him to stop talking about religion so much. And hold on, you wanted me in the format that I wasn't. The reason you came is because I am who I am, and now you're trying to change me as a person. But being in a position to say I'm the one that got the following, whether you deal with me or not, I'm good, right? When is enough, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not willing to sacrifice who I am and change up just because you want to give me a bag. I got the bag already. I get the bag. And that's a perfect example with like not caring, right? Like, okay, you're Nike, so fucking what? There's other sneaker companies out there. I'm good already, right? And if I don't have a sneaker deal, it's not going to kill me because what I'm doing is for my peoples, for my family. I'm building up my team, right? So whether you deal with me or not, the saga continues. So that's what I'm talking about, right? It's that part. But we have to get there, and getting there takes us working together collaboratively to make this thing happen, right? And then when it happens, keeping it going so that we can scale it, so that now we can bring in other businesses, right, and other people, and fundamentally build this village. That's the only way this thing happens, man. If we keep fucking bullshitting each other and fluffing each other, Chris, this shit is never gonna fucking work, bro.
No, it's gonna be bullshit and fluff for the rest of my life. And you're right. Like if somebody, like, all it takes is one person, one entity, one group to show up different in the family in general to like change the whole trajectory. I think we talked about this last time, but like you know when you're the one, right? Because there's nobody else. Like literally, it's that simple. Like,
talk about that.
I'm the one because there is no two. Like it's just me.
Come on.
I don't know.
Yeah, like then you go outside and you connect with other people. Like you said, day two. Now you're choosing your family to build with. Like I got a dream of a family compound. I know my family. I know that they don't want to work forever. I know that they're not going to make any decisions that they can right now to stop them from working forever. So again, that's where like the number one comes. But yeah, I think that, like you said, with the day two family, you go out, you build those things with, and then like you said, I'll be back. So no, I think to your point, that's a good question. How do we come together and work together as a people, right? And I'll use the example of the brands, right? So like, I don't think nobody is mad at Target if Target didn't say that Target was donating X amount of dollars to Black people. Like if Target didn't say that, you have no Target boycott. But now that you have a Target boycott, how do we come together and like, yo, let's make a store where we just need to go buy? It's that simple to me. But like, how do you rally the troops?
You go ahead, y'all. I got an answer, but I'll let you guys.
You see it with like I think 19 Keys. I've been watching his content a lot. David Banner's been talking a lot about some of these things, like Killer Mike and T.I. doing a lot in Atlanta and Bankhead. So I mean, it's you're starting to see people come together to like build these things, but I don't know, man. We still seek validation. That shit kills me.
I think also the biggest problem we have in the culture is ego.
Yeah.
So now you get us in a room with 19 Keys, David Banner, this one, that one. Everyone has to be, who's going to be the headliner? Is that conversation back to music and all that shit, the A side, all that shit? Like, You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to help you be the head. Like, and we just have to get rid of all that shit.
Yeah.
Audience is your audience, my audience is my audience. We're going to cross-pollinate audiences. It doesn't matter. As long as we get the eyeballs, then we can make some real change happen. But we have to have that conversation with like-minded individuals. That's not going to happen. I don't give a fuck who you are. It's going to be somebody at the headline. You go to Invest Fest, I don't give a fuck if you 19 Keys. It's EYL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like that in every situation. It just is what it is. It's not too many conversations where we say, drop the name, and we just going to put our money up. Everybody put up 2%, 3%. And we all get this thing funded together, and we just call it blue magic. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
Call it blue magic. Who gives a shit? and it's all of us included in it, and we all gonna eat and we all gonna make something happen. That I've never heard that happen. That's the problem.
I think we need to copy. Let's call it like the LeBron James formula, right?
Okay.
Get a bunch of people that you can trust that are already doing a thing. Show me that you are. These companies aren't dealing with you, Chris, because you have an idea and you've never executed. They're dealing with you because you've already showed that you can do a thing. And now they're saying, okay, he has the idea. He showed implementation. Now we can just fine tune it, right? The problem with us is we are not working together. That's why we're stagnated. For example, if we boycott Target, there are other Black-owned supermarkets or chain stores out there, right? But nobody stepped up and said, this is a Black-owned store, whatever the case may be. And then it becomes, can that store supply the demand of, if you want us to take this out of Target and Target has this many locations in this many states, here we go. You have to be able to supply the demand. That's the problem. We are battling giants of industry and we're not there yet. So even though we want to make a change, there's not a person that can step in and say, I can supply that demand in the moment, right? That's where the effort starts to fizzle out because everybody's waiting for everybody else to do a thing, right? Instead of coming together and saying, okay, before we boycott Target, do we have an effective replacement? Whether brick and mortar store or like we know people that have online websites that only deal with black businesses, Black product owners and stuff like that. Contact one of them and say, listen, if we can get people to stop shopping at Target and shop at you, can you match the prices? Can you give them free shipping? Can you make it so that they are not technically going out of their way to now get their products because they're used to walking into a store and walking out immediately? Can you supply this demand? And if not, what do you need to be able to supply this demand? And then if they can do it, making it happen. I think if we started doing that, we have a completely different conversation because we boycott Target and then we go, the money wasn't lost because now we shifted it over here. Now this company went from this level to this level. We employed this many employees now, and it creates a chain reaction. You see how that goes?
Yeah, and I think it's also probably something that's starting small too.
Yeah.
Like starting to know those smaller communities. Because like you said, we might not have the scale yet.
There it is.
There's a predominantly Black community with a predominantly Black store that's servicing that community. You know, that's a hell of a start. And then you just scale from there.
And people don't put enough emphasis on their community. Our community. I don't give a fuck if it's 3 or 300 on here. Them 300, those 3 people that have been rocking with us for an hour and 27 minutes, an hour and 27 to 14 seconds. If we say something, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And that's real. And guess what? That could be something that can change your bottom line or not. So every community matters. Every community matters. But it's us building our shit together. Like I said, putting ego aside, all that other stuff, man, and really trying to get that A side. I ain't gonna front. That's my goal. I want to be on the A side. When Dame Dash was at his height, you know why he was going in and talking that shit? Because he was on the A side. But it's when you're on the A side, how do you react to people? Who do you treat? How do you do this? Do you do this? The problem with us, I feel like we want to do something together, but we still have a trust factor. It's our trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, you went to mad conferences, bro. We just linked in and we just like, yo, boom, you know you good. Not everybody's like that, bro. How do we get more of that? And
by being who you say you are and doing what the fuck you say you're gonna do. I'm just telling you, because that's how you get there. Your word has to be your fucking bond. Say a thing, do a fucking thing, and that's it. Say a thing, do a thing. Message. Have the balls to be like, you're not here yet, or you're not ready yet, or I don't want to deal with. That's it. Yeah. Enough with the fucking cuddling each other.
That's a fact. We get a lot of participation trophies because like we don't lack ability, we just lack the courage. Like, it's like we're scared, and a lot of us are censoring ourselves because we fear other people's opinion. But it's like you said, Chad, it's like just say.
So how do we collectively get out of that mindset, right? Like, because right, we're saying we got to do what we got to do. We know what we got to do, but like, what is the next step?
This is the next step. This is the baby step. Chris was on before, he came back on now. That's his second time on. Then we have further conversations and we keep working, we keep building. You like he said, you start small and you keep building, right? You lead by example. We can't change everybody, but we have to show that this thing can be possible. We show the success of meeting a person, building with a person, building companies together, and then we start repeating. This is episode what, Cuzzo? 200 and what? Thank you. So imagine if Chris is one person that's been on twice. We have 100, 200 other fucking people that have been on the show. So imagine if we even got a 5% turnaround like that. How many business opportunities and stuff that we can create just by the people we've had on the show in 200 fucking episodes.
20 people. I was coming 20 strong.
Thank you.
Everybody, 20 strong.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the network that each one of those 20 people bring to the fucking table.
Yep.
It becomes a movement. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. And that's why the show is important, man. That's all I gotta say.
So it sounds like to me we need to start asking people who ready to eat.
That's it. Who ready to work?
We got
It's like the Harriet Tubman effect. And then like but we're not gonna kill them. We're just gonna come back later.
But it's who you like. Sometimes it's a valuation of everything, right? Like I just told you, we went to Baltimore, bro. We sitting there with a billionaire who owns the Washington Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Owns the Washington Nationals. We going to Starbucks to get coffee. You don't put a value on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the game we got in an hour was worth 8 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be that too. So I just want to make sure like we all know that. Like it's certain conversations we can't put a monetary value. The fact that I could text you. The fact that I could call you. The fact that I could make something happen. The fact that I could put you on the phone with the person. What is the value of that? And there's that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would never like, yo, bro, you good. I'm telling you, why haven't you called me? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So
and that's holding each other accountable.
Exactly.
That's
holding each other accountable. Hey, Chris, man, we fuck with you, but you ain't call us, man. What's up? Like that. Like that. Because Cuzzo, one of the main things he said at Black Week that he repeated, and I mean to almost every person he said, I'm telling you right now, we make this connection. If I see you next year and we haven't built on this connection, I'm going to hold you accountable. Am I lying, Cuzzo? Or was that not the fucking thing you said?
Don't do this shit for the camera.
Thank you.
Don't do it for the camera. We got the camera rolling.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Like, that's why I love motherfuckers like Rohan.
There it is.
Rohan said, you know what? I fuck with y'all. It's nothing to talk about. Y'all do podcasting? Cool. Bro, he was on All the Smoke. He's on every big podcast. We the only ones that came to his living room. In his living room.
With his family.
With his family. YG, every one of Lauryn Hill's kids coming through. Bro, we sitting there chilling. I'm sitting there high as fuck. We sitting there like it's a lot of shit going on, bro. But it was a monumental moment. Because guess what? We from the mud. Who's doing that? Who's doing that, bro?
He probably wouldn't even go.
Wouldn't even come on. Wouldn't even, bro. We did it a week before Christmas. Nigga, it was almost Kwanzaa. We were about to do Emoji from the 26th to the 31st. I'm trying to tell you, that's how I really.
Yeah, that's all it is, Chris. You know, we have to just do better, right? And it's not going to change overnight, but like it changes like this. What you say, hey, bro, can we come back on the show? Absolutely. Let's just schedule it up. It's not like you said, you're not convincing us. It's just let's schedule it up. When you want to come on, when we got a episode free, let's just do it, right? Let's be the example. Let's lead and show people what we want y'all to fucking do by doing the thing. And that's it, man. That's how we move forward, man.
Method.
Yeah. Now, Dash, what you got?
Talk to us.
All right, we ready for the segment? All right. So, Chris, welcome to this part of More Than a Title. We call it From the Saucer.
Yeah.
The reason why is because I always like to say, you know, you should never pour from your cup. You should fill it up, let it runneth over, and the excess that falls into your saucer is what you should pour into others. So if you could take this opportunity to share from your saucer knowledge, wisdom, whatever you got to our audience, always greatly appreciated.
It's a good question. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge. Sometimes I should be off the wall though, but I think
we uncensored. Go for it.
Yeah, what the people need what the people need right now, right?
Shoot your shot.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is like is life and its meaning, and this is just shit that I've learned like again over the past year, because y'all just helped me realize that it's been a year, but I was in a very dark place when we did talk. But I think the biggest thing is like we really just determine our lives based on the meaning that we give like past experiences. Okay. And so I was always one to like harbor these past experiences, and I'll wear them on my shoulders. But now it's like your life is not something that, you know, somebody's giving you, but every day we get to like choose it ourselves. And so for me, I'm like, yo, you're the one that gets to decide how you live. And so it's really that, man. It's like no matter where you are, where you come from. I know people that's come from a lot less than me. But I think the biggest thing is like waking up and just choosing to want to get out of a situation. Like it is that simple. I use this analogy all the time, but it's like a light switch. Like when you wake up, you have the opportunity to choose if you're going to cut the lights on, if you're going to leave them off. And that can look like a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But I mean, if you have something in your life that you want to change it.
Message.
I want to say shout out to my brother Fitz, who's on the Instagram, and everybody who's on Instagram. So Fitz, I want to give a quick story, man.
Yeah.
My boy Fitz was the first person. So my first sales job, bro. We talk about trying to change the situation. People don't need to know this shit. So I'm at BBQs, all this other stuff. I'm sitting there trying to find a sales job, bro. I get a call from a mortgage origination place from Indeed. It looked mad sketchy. I ain't gonna hold you, Chris. This shit was sketchy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But it says 40,000. I said, I'm going, bro. Got there at 1 o'clock. The interview's at 1 o'clock, bro. I sat out there for 3 hours. They didn't pick up the phone for 3 hours. 3 fucking hours. I would never do this normally, bro. Something made me stay. I stayed for 3 hours. And as I'm about to walk out, because I'm like, I got to go get my son now at this point. Like, this is crazy. They call me back. I'm walking to the end train. Say, come upstairs, bro. I went upstairs, got the job. They felt so bad that I actually sat there and waited. It showed my character. I got the job without even having to talk. Got the job without even having to talk. That was my first sales job, bro. My boy Fitz is in there. Mogul's there, cuzzo. You know, Jerry, he was in there, bro.
For sure.
I met him. Niggas gave me tutelage and all that shit. So I say that to say, like, yo, you're day 2 people and just like changing the situation. I knew for a fact that my son was 1 year old. I wasn't going back to the fucking block. If I go back to the block, I make $10,000 a week. But guess what? My life is different.
Mm-hmm. His life is different too.
His life is different, right? So it's one of those ones that you have to trust your gut. You have to know the moment, and you have to just trust it, bro. I went in there. I fucking was about to get a job at that shit. I had to pass a safe test. This is after the recession. So you have to pass a safe test. That's after the mortgage bust and all that shit. Failed it 3 times by 2 points. The CEO put me in the seat in the room afterwards. I'm talking about my boy Fitz. All them niggas is grown men with tears. Like, yo, my nigga about to get fired. Like he's part of the energy here. You know what I'm saying? We got a bond like that. Never had no shit like that in my life. Nigga sat me down. Nigga pulled up in a red Porsche. The CEO. Nigga said, yo, you're better than this. You're more than this. You failed about 2 points. It's not your point. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to come here for minimum fucking wage. Go out there, be great. Pay the cab. $250 from Melville, Long Island to the Bronx. Came back and got busy. Got busy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say shout out to him because he saw that whole situation happen. And I say that for the message for the people. You got to do some crazy shit sometimes to get out the situation. I would have never. I could go make bread. Me and Cousin could go back and make bread. Sis can make bread. We sacrificing a lot for this shit. Do what you got to do, man. Know that you want to change your situation. Know your people. Fill people out. Don't be afraid or jaded to let people in. We let sis 6 months. No, we love you. Come on. Build. It was meant to be. We met 1,000 women. Sis is the one. Knew it off the rip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I say that.
Only thing I want to say is I want to commend you, man, because again, your story, if you listen to, I know you tell your story, but if you listen to your story and we related to other guests, you did the same exact thing other guests said that they did, man. They took that chance. Like you could have easily left. I'm going to be honest with you. Sitting 3 hours is nuts. My pride, 3 hours, an hour, maybe hour and a half. Hold on. But you not know I'm here? I might not have stayed. But again, to get something that you don't have, sometimes you have to do something that you have never done or you wouldn't normally do. So that's a perfect testament to that. And I just want to say this, Hayes, when he said we can go get money, he means legally. Okay, we're not talking about the block, buddy. Okay, buddy. Yeah, we had the conversation. We're not talking about the block. We're talking about going back to legal work, and we're not talking about street stuff. Just want to let you know that.
I was smelling like ribs. I don't want to hear nothing. Working man. Sis, I was selling ribs and mixtapes.
Which Chris, I wasn't mad because we ate good. I ain't gonna lie. Every time I went there, I knew cousin was gonna hook it up, so we ate good for the plug for a long time.
Get a little potato, nigga.
Cousin used to have a line. They had to know something was up because a lot of people would get to the restaurant and not want to be seated by. Where's Jared's section?
Oh yeah,
a nigga only got 2 tables. Sis only got 2 tables. There's 4 families outside.
Everybody sitting there, they got the little waiting area. Everybody like, we're waiting on Jared. I know they had to think something was going on because the motherfuckers at a point where they didn't want to sit nowhere else.
They got rid of me.
We appreciate you for coming on, Chris. Before you get out of here, again, this is a mandatory thing, right? For the people that don't know how to get in contact with you, for the people that don't know how to support you, because if they don't know, you can't hold them accountable for not doing a thing, right? Please let the people know the best way to get in contact with you, the best way to support the movement, the best way to get information about the movement so that they can see if they can maybe not only support you as far as like, a monetary value or something, if they can buy a product, but maybe they have a business or something that can align with your business and they can reach out to you and say, hey, maybe we can do some business together. You know what I mean? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Follow us on Instagram. That's probably our most prominent platform. We on there all the time. It's community Cxmmunity.co. So community take out the O, put the X. Personally, I'm Chris.Peay on all platforms. I think the biggest thing, man, for us is like gaming is no longer a subculture. And I know we talked about this too, but gaming is a leading entertainment medium, bro, in the world. It's larger than the film industry and the music industries combined. And then as it relates to just media, I know we're talking a lot about Cxmmunity, but also traditional media is starting to talk a lot about Cxmmunity, and that is because these are the new celebrities. And so for us, it's really just launching this platform so that we can, tell those stories, kind of showcase the fact that gaming culture is taking over as it relates to just mainstream culture in general. And the best part about it is like we say, growing up, I mean, we see 2 things, right? It's sports or music. But now, like, these kids are streaming a lot more than they're hooping nowadays. The difference now is that nobody is showing them how to own it, or that before nobody was showing them how to own it, but now that's essentially what our platform is. So if you have kids that stream, that play video games, like, definitely reach out to us on Instagram or social media. We're on LinkedIn, everything at community.co. So Cxmmunity.co.
There it is, man. And ladies and gentlemen, batting 1,000 again. Yeah, we started the episode saying another phenomenal guest returning again. He came on and he dropped gems. And again, some of the key takeaways from this interview, right? He was transparent and let you know, yes, I was successful. I scaled up, but then I had to scale back down. And he told you the trauma that he had to deal with in doing that, right? Because everybody deals with things differently. He was transparent. That is a key takeaway to understand that business is not linear, right? It's not just a straight arrow straight to the top, that you're not going to deal with things, right? And he dealt with it the best way that he could. And he didn't fully express it on this, but he's a very spiritual person that we talked about on the other one. So he relied heavily on his faith and his village to help give him the knowledge and the tutelage to get through it. You understand? He's also a family man. The balance of building a business and still trying to be the best family man to his wife and his child that he can, right? Because that does exist. We can build businesses and be successful and still build families, right? And again, now he had enough confidence within himself to keep building, which allowed him now to accept another deal. And now they're working on scaling that, right? So again, we talk about this every single time. We're going to keep hammering this thing home because you need to understand it, right? It reiterates what we say every single time to end off this show. The dream is free, but the hustle, well, that's sold separately. And before we go, I want to let you know something. If you got a baby daddy If you got a husband or something that's playing some games, you get off their goddamn back right now. We get into the motherfucking bag. When I want to play PlayStation, you let me play the PlayStation because I might
2K.
Unless you're actually making a bag, you need to go find a way to make a bag if you're gonna be playing them.
You gotta get you gotta get good before you make the bag. You got right. You got to get good.
You got to holler at Chris.
You got to holler at Chris. There it is. So,
you get the bag.
That's right. So when we playing these video games, you bring us some potato chips. You maybe rub our feet up, get us some good gaming chair or something.
Nah, he's gone too far.
Look, you buy your baby daddy or your boyfriend a good gaming chair so he got the perfect ergonomic stance. So
I don't think he's nice like that. You have to see if he's nice like that.
Listen, we love it, man. Thank you, Chris, for coming on the show. Once again, man, this is why we do it. This is why we love what we do. Second episode of the week. That's why we say it's our favorite day, Pod Day. It's more than a title. You ain't getting it nowhere else but here like this.
And
We see y'all next week.
Tuesday, Jacqueline Woods, Sue, CMO of Terradata, $3 billion company coming through straight to give us the sauce.
Money.
How many episodes is this?
You said what happened?
How many episodes is this?
232.
And how much time?
You said how much time?
Yeah.
Well, this episode was 1 hour 45 minutes.
Let's just say on the average, 1 hour 45 to 2 hours per episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when was the episode 1?
Shit,
3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We coming up on I think we coming up on our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
In March.
Wait. But just to add context to that, Chris, we're not going to shortchange ourselves. That's episodes, meaning Tuesday and Thursday live streaming. That has nothing to do with the episodes that we do from events that we go to, like Black Week and LinkedIn and all that stuff. So Par for Peace and all that. So we do, when we show up to events, we stream from there too, and we put out content from there too. So that's just the episodes that we do weekly. So we out here working.
And we on pace to do, first of all, we've been doing it 3 years.
Yeah.
But in the past, going on 2 years now, 200 episodes in 2 years.
Crazy. We're averaging 100 a year.
In 2 years. Not a Tuesday or Thursday missed.
See?
365. Y'all are relentlessly consistent, man. Shout out to y'all.
That's how you become a Kai.
See?
Man.
That's how you not convince motherfuckers of your value when it's time, right? I'm not convincing you. Go check the catalog, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Linwood said this is the Bible. Linwood said this is the Bible. You got 232 people coming through telling you they sauce. They ups, they downs, right? We got companies hitting us right now just for the sauce. They'd be like, yo, we want to know what that look. You know what I'm saying? We got a catalog. So we willing to have conversations. Hit us up, call Chad, call Nadesh. We have a conversation, you know what I'm saying?
But just understand that the conversation is based on when we had that conversation. But if we had the conversation at day 0, then you're good with me. If we had the conversation on day 0 and you didn't act till day 5 or whatever the case, just understand it's different.
I'm just saying, there's always going to be dollar signs. How many determines on when you hit us up.
Message.
Well, that we had hustle is free. The dream is free.
Like I said, again, okay, you know,
we saying goodbye now for real?
Huh?
We saying goodbye now for real? Okay. It's like our third time.
Say goodbye.
All right. Bye, y'all.
About me, seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know